is a different
How do you pronounce it?
John Muir.
Muir?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John Muir.
John Muir.
He's like really good at guitar.
Yeah.
My brother really liked him, and kind of by default, I liked him at that point. I don't like him anymore.
He's the lesser of the Johns. John Bunch.
Mm.
Hey, welcome to Snackdown. I'm Justin, and this is...
Andy!
And we have a special guest today, finally, on the pod. It's my brother...
Hello, this is Bryan.
Bryan.
Hello, this is Bryan.
It's true.
I know.
Hello.
I feel like you like hit the button at someone's like apartment complex.
Hello.
You like introduce yourself like that.
Yeah.
Should I intercom?
Yeah, I mean if you want to change it.
This is Tito.
I mean no, you don't. I'm just messing with you.
So we finally got my brother on.
Yeah.
And I was like, we joke a lot about him drinking Cheetos and cran. Wow, I can't talk.
Cheetos.
Cheetos and cran. We joke a lot about him drinking Tito's and cran.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he really drinks it as much as I say. I don't even think I said he drinks it a lot. It just became a running thing.
It's definitely inflated.
Is it? So
But he does he does enjoy a Tito's and cran, I think.
Well, I can tell you the origin.
Yeah, tell us the
before
origin.
It's
of Tito or
No, I don't know the origin of Tito.
Oh, okay.
So the origin of the story is my friend and I, a coworker of mine, we would go out for drinks afterwards and just order cheap beer, to drink in mass quantities.
Yeah.
But after a while, you get that rock gut feeling in your stomach, and then he was always like, well, we'll just switch to Tito's and cran. I was like, what is that? So we would switch every now and then to that every once in a while. So those were like the two base drinks that we would get at the bar.
So you'd switch to a Tito's and cran to kind of cool off.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Basically. Vodka.
To hydrate.
Right, yeah. It's tasty,
Get your
though.
vitamin C.
And like Tito's is pretty, it's not the lowest shelf. It's not plastic.
No.
But I think Tito's and cran is it's not a classy enough cocktail that's going to like empty out your wallet. You know what I mean? But it's still pretty tasty. Cranberry juice in general is pretty tasty, actually.
You guys come from a pro cranberry family.
It's true. Sugared cranberries on Christmas.
Mm.
So,
yeah.
Because Bryan's on the pod, we did do some Tito's and cran. I tried to ask Alexa how to make a Tito's and cran, and she started telling me how to make crayons out of beeswax. So,
yeah.
So I just kind of made it up myself. I did 1.5 ounces of vodka, and then I kind of filled up. There's probably like maybe 4 or 5 ounces of cranberry.
What do you think?
It seems welcoming. You know what I mean? Seems like a refreshing break from a rock gut beer.
I would say if Justin was a bartender, he would have been generous on the vodka because the average Tito's and cran I get is definitely more cran, even though Tito's vodka is not the most expensive.
So you think they?
But I don't really taste.
You?
I don't taste much of the vodka in this. Do you? Like it's very cranberry.
It's the problem.
Like when you're making say a White Russian, there's 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of Kahlua. Whereas a vodka and cranberry, same with like a Paloma, something like that, where you're putting in juice. Usually it's like 1 ounce or 2 ounces, and then fill the glass.
Okay. Yeah.
So usually the taste that comes out is not the alcoholic base. So I don't taste a lot of the vodka in this.
I think cranberry too is a strong fruit, so it's more of the fruit that you're tasting. Unless you do like a half and half.
I was going to do a little less cranberry, like kind of do that, like 1.5 ounces and 3 ounces.
Well,
I didn't really measure.
Honestly, this is like...
So how does this compare to the ones you had at the bar?
Well, like I said, I think it depends on where you go. I did have one in Vegas, which I thought, maybe I will try this out because of the name that you guys have instilled in me, which I think I sent you a picture of.
You did, yeah.
But I went with a bunch of coworkers and they got Tito's and water.
Ugh.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense to me. Or vodka and water.
Was it like tonic or like
they? That's what they said was.
So it's kind of like a Scotch and soda,
water.
Or
were they just like it's hydrating?
I asked for the cranberry.
Coworkers listen to the podcast.
It wasn't like Tito's and tap water though, right?
So we can speak for you.
No, I don't think so.
Like Tito's and tap.
Yeah. Give me the Tito's and tap. The more chlorinated, the better.
Yeah. Lukewarm, please.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds just foul.
Yeah, it's gross. It's probably like sparkling water or like a club soda type thing. Yeah, so we got the Tito's and cran, and we did that just because Bryan was on it, and I feel like if you're actually a longtime listener, if Bryan came on and we didn't do the Titos and cran, it would be kind of disappointing.
There'd be a lot of questions.
Yeah, so we did a little bit of Titos and cran, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to do another drink later using cranberry juice, and it'll be quite delicious.
Is it a mystery?
Yeah, they don't know what it is yet, and I think I'll dangle it over them.
Here, listener.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
So, because Bryan was coming on, I decided to pull out some popcorn. And so, popcorn is like a very Whisman thing. Like our, your body's made up of like 70% water, and then there's blood. There's a little bit of popcorn in like the Whisman blood.
In your blood. Mm-hmm. That's probably pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Let me just say that, I should have taken a video of it, of you tossing the popcorn. It was like, I don't know, like if you see someone like making like fried rice or some other sort of like dish in the culinary world. I mean, just kind of that like wave like flipping up over the pan and the wave crashing just ever so delicately. And you did that with frickin' popcorn, with a big bowl of popcorn.
I was going to say, the bowl also
Why do you
takes
have
into
a bowl
account-
this big?
Because it has to be that big for popcorn. So here's a great story. So
some backstory.
So
The reasoning behind
everyone,
it.
if you're a Whisman, like you love popcorn. And I specifically remember this time where my grandma on the Whisman side came to visit us, and like as soon as she got to her house, she like looked for popcorn in our cupboard, and we were like out, and she's like, "What?" And that night we went out and got popcorn because like there wasn't popcorn in the house.
Is your family from the Midwest or no? Like Illinois?
They originated in Massachusetts and Boston area, but then they migrated out to Iowa.
That is corn country.
Yep.
I think I found the origin.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why? I mean,
could
like
be.
you just run out of like we got cornbread.
Well,
we
it's a
got
staple.
popcorn,
Yeah.
We got
Popcorn,
Yeah.
cornbread.
corn on the cob.
Yep.
What else?
Corn-
Cornbread casserole or corn,
Moonshine.
I don't think
moonshine. Yeah,
the
you
next
could
step.
make vodka.
I'm not sure how much of our family strings popcorn though on the Christmas tree. That might
Yeah, I
be the
don't
next
know.
step
Do you?
Because it would be
No.
eaten though. If there was
just be
popcorn,
string.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
It would just be string.
Do you guys ever do like a cranberry string?
No,
Cranberry string?
I don't put food
String
on my
cranberry.
tree. So yeah. Anyways, we grow up
Sorry.
kind of learning how to make popcorn, and
What the F?
like we, you learn to shave, you learn to drive a car, and you learn how to flip popcorn in a large bowl.
Your dad's just like, whoa, easy, son. All right, take it here. I got it from here. We'll try again next time. Like,
Let's try with 15 kernels next.
yeah. I don't like that residual kernel to popcorn ratio.
Yeah, so let's try some of this homemade popcorn that I made.
Okay. It's good popcorn. One might call it craft popcorn.
So I know lots of people that a lot of their only experience with popcorn is microwave popcorn
Uh-huh.
and then movie theater popcorn. And so they've told me, I'm not like that. I'm not a big popcorn person. And I'll be at a party or something and I brought popcorn and they'll just devour it. They're like, what is this? Like, we had like a big Thanksgiving party once and I brought a big bowl of popcorn.
Hold on. You just bring already popped corn to a
Yeah,
party.
like in this bowl. Put a little saran wrap over it.
That's a huge bowl.
It's giant.
It's pretty standard actually
is.
for popcorn.
It is the diameter of my forearm.
Yeah, and I filled that and eaten it by myself.
Like, to the top.
I feel horrible after.
Okay. Thank you.
So here's something
Sometimes
I've
I eat
noticed.
so much popcorn that my mouth hurts, like from chewing the jaw. You ever get that?
That's called
Pop-
TMJ.
Popcorn jaw?
Yeah. Pop jaw. Remember? Didn't
yeah.
you just like lock your jaw?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, this is healthy for it.
So what were you saying, Bryan?
Something that I've noticed in my years of eating the sacred kernel. So I've noticed that there are some people that eat popcorn one kernel at a time, or a handful, 2, 3, maybe 4.
I'm a 2 or 3. I'm a 2 or 3 guy.
Yeah, me too.
I think
My
it's good with
wife is one at a time. Therefore, when I go to grab a
She gets
handful,
5.
yeah, and I get the rest of the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I also drop a lot.
You drop a lot from doing like a
If I went
shovelful.
right, so if I went for one kernel at a time, I don't know. It's just really good, and I just can't.
So I think when you're making homemade popcorn, the butter and the salt aren't evenly distributed throughout the entire mix. So
Which
when
makes it exciting.
when you grab 2 or 3, it kind of like
Evens.
makes a total taste. Whereas if you grab one, you're like, oh, this one didn't have a lot of salt on it, or this one didn't have a lot of butter. But if you're grabbing a couple at a time,
You're getting a median butter experience.
yeah.
So is this unsalted butter?
Unsalted butter, but then it's salted, heavily salted. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is, Andy, why don't you explain this, Andy? Andy was popping popcorn in a very odd way.
All right, so Justin's talking about popcorn all day and night. He's just texting me all the time, like, "Hey, you want to come over and have some popcorn?" I'm like, "Justin, come on!" And now he's like, "Hey, we're gonna do a popcorn episode."
It's Colonel Thursday.
Yeah, you'll be a sergeant and I'll be a colonel. And so recently I saw on Reddit, just like someone popping popcorn out of a beer can, and they like cut a hole in the side of the beer can and put kind of like, I don't know. You'll check it out on our socials. But so I was able to pop popcorn using kernels, a beer can, and a little bit of oil. I had to pour some oil out. Really beat.
So this is not butter and salted, right?
It's not, but well, it's oiled.
Yeah, I just want to taste, the texture, the fluffacity.
Fluffacity.
Mouthfeel.
Whoa, it's a good kernel.
Maybe even better.
So for my dad's Christmas present last year, I got him a box from Williams-Sonoma, and it had, I believe, 12 different types of kernel. So there's like blue, like blue corn kernels, and there was like 12 different kinds. And they're all supposed to pop differently. So some of them have they pop bigger. Some of them are fluffier.
That Christmas present was made for your family.
Well, I'll also tell you, so every year our family gets together in Albany, and we have a $5 kind of white elephant gift exchange. It's kind of something that we do instead of getting everybody a gift. So we do this $5 thing.
That's way easier.
Every year, there is a tin-shaped present that is a multi-popcorn tin.
Yeah, when
That
someone
has-
picks up
is
the
it-
present and it's like the tin, you're
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
this is
Yeah.
the popcorn
It's
one.
the popcorn. Everybody knows because usually every year at the Whisman Christmas, there's at least one.
Is it called the Whismas at that point, or what?
Well, that's a good name for
We
it.
haven't patented it, but that's pretty good.
So with your jocularity at our
My what?
popcorn,
My what? Jocularity. What's that mean? Are you calling me a jock?
no,
Oh, okay. You read too many books, man.
Saying
There,
it-
I said
Only
it.
by John Muir.
saying as a joke, yeah.
I want to run through the...
So you don't eat a lot of popcorn then?
First of all, I'm offended. I like popcorn. I definitely don't eat it in the frequency that you do. And we'll just leave it at that. I think I eat popcorn an okay amount. I don't have like a popper. You just like...
Everyone has a popper.
Yeah, Andy
You didn't have a
said-
toaster.
Yeah, Andy
You don't have a microwave. But for the popcorn episode, you whipped out the biggest damn bowl I've ever seen. And a Orville brand popcorn popper.
It's like a welcome home gift.
Yeah, it's like the security blanket of the Whisman.
Yep.
So my friend Alex, who I've talked about, growing
Shout out
up
to
in high
Alex.
school, I always would make popcorn at his house. Right. Every time I go over, I'm like, "Where's the popcorn?" And we'd make the popcorn. Popcorn in the microwave is a very delicate process.
Craft.
There's you go a little step over and it's burnt, and then you go too much, and then there's too many unpopped kernels. So there's a very if you hit the popcorn setting on the thing, it never works right on the microwave. You got to hit it for 5-6 minutes, and then you got to really wait and listen for the pops. So in my younger years, you're 15, 16, you're not too attuned to the popcorn pops.
Tunes.
So I burned popcorn in their microwave a couple times.
A couple times, meaning
No.
so much that he was banned from making popcorn in
So
their microwave.
Their microwave burnt out or broke, and they blamed it on me making so much popcorn. Which
That's
I don't think it
not-
was tied.
That's kind of BS.
But then
yeah.
they were like, "You can't make popcorn in our popcorn. You're just gonna burn popcorn." It became this legend of me blowing up their microwave because of my popcorn. But I got a present from him that was a 50-pound bag of popcorn kernels and a fire extinguisher.
That's awesome.
And
You
I
still
don't know
have
if
it.
popcorn kernels go bad, but we're eating some of those kernels.
How
from
old are these
2010.
10 years.
These are 10-year-old kernels?
Pretty good.
Justin didn't even wait for me to judge it. He was like, "Nope, these are good.
They
These,
are
they're good."
good.
Did you taste a 10-year tang? No.
Have you guys ever had popcorn at a restaurant? So Tully's gives you a thing of popcorn.
Do you like their popcorn?
It's not bad. Later in the night, though, you got to be careful with the popcorn because
Cool.
they'll sit there and then you'll have beer-soaked popcorn
Oh,
at the bottom.
Yeah, a wet kernel is
It's
not
not-
good.
no, it's
have you
not.
ever gotten water or any sort of liquid onto a
what
popcorn?
do you mean
It instantly
beer-soaked kernel?
Someone spills their beer in the little
this has happened several
tray.
times.
Yeah, because you'll be going through the popcorn and it'll be really damp at the bottom. It's okay, someone spilled.
Like spilled it like on your time after they've already served you the popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of on you and your friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Play
putting
the
blame
kitchen
on
staff
anyone,
is
but
like, whoa.
Yeah.
No.
Whoopsie daisies.
Sink water.
they'll eat it anyways.
Okay. So it's kind of like a personal recommendation in terms of popcorn safety.
Yep.
Wow.
So these kernels pop pretty well, I would say. The beer
Could you
ones.
pass? Yeah. Could you pass some of Andy's?
Did you try any yet?
Andy's kernels? No.
That's pretty good.
Those are crisper than those.
They are crisper.
Very nice. That was small batch. That's small
But
batch.
see, you're judging on buttered popcorn to buttered popcorn.
I've got to say, Andy, this is pretty good for amateur work.
for beer. Excuse me. For
I'm
beer
sorry.
can popcorn.
Beer can. Well, is it the beer can? You think that had something to do with it?
No, I rinse this thing out a lot.
Okay. Well, you used what? Foster's?
Foster's.
Okay.
Yeah, Australian for beer. I don't really like Foster's, but I took one to make the popcorn because it had a nice wide base.
Have you ever used the little popcorn poppers that come with a handle and they're like flat?
I almost bought one for today.
I don't think I've ever seen those work.
People used to bring them to campfires, and I said that they never worked, but someone got it to work.
I think you
burn.
got to get the heat right. I think the heat is
Yeah.
like a very, like if you don't get it right, it's just not going to work.
There's too many variables.
It's a cursed popcorn method.
But I think it's similar to what you're doing because it's in aluminum and you're holding it over a heat, right? And the aluminum heats.
But that method has it's got some compression to it, right? That was pretty much, my beer can method was pretty much an open system.
Yeah.
Like the other one, what is
You
it
kind
called?
of made like a little hole in a slide for the popcorn.
Yeah. I was gingerly letting it out into the world, saying, hey, guy, come on. Just kind of hanging it over people's heads. Just like our next drink.
Yeah. So,
Which is?
leading into that, we'll take a break. We'll get another drink. We will have a little bit more popcorn and in different flavors. So, all right. We'll be right back with a drink and more popcorn. All right,
Some
bye.
popcorn music.
Popcorn music.
Bye.
Hey, we're back. And we got some drinks and some more popcorn here. So should I describe what this drink is?
Let's sip it first.
Yeah, we'll take a little sip. And it's in a martini glass.
It's good.
It's pretty good.
It's appley. It's oaky, would you say?
Yeah.
So what this drink is called it's called the Washinton Apple. And this is, I guess, a pretty popular drink, and you can order it at bars. It's supposed to have Crown Royale in it, or Canadian whiskey. I did not have it, and I didn't feel like buying Crown Royale just for this. So it says like you can use any whiskey.
Isn't it just Crown Royal?
Royale.
Uh,
Maybe not.
it's just Crown Royal, guys.
Oh. So it's supposed
We're
to have
just
Crown
making
Royal.
it more fancy than it is.
Yeah.
Crown Royale.
You're just making it sound like a Bond movie.
I've called it Crown Royale my whole life.
And I'm sorry.
Crown Royale. That was me at like 3.
You're
I
like,
was
do you
gonna
have
say.
any Crown Royale? And they're like,
Nope.
no. We just have Crown Royal. And why are you 3 in a liquor store unattended?
So it's supposed to have Crown Royale.
No, it's not. It's supposed to have Crown Royal.
It's supposed to have Crown Royal. That sounds so weird to say.
I know.
Did you
Gotta
feel like
change
a
my whole
peasant
life.
saying it?
Yeah.
Crown Royale.
Crown.
So it's supposed to have that in it. But it says you can, use any whiskey. Canadian whiskeys usually have a little bit more rye in it. So I was going to use a rye, but I didn't have that either. So I just use a Jim Beam bourbon, just a standard bourbon. So, I mean, if you're in America, it's pretty easy to grab a bourbon. So, and they might make it for you with a bourbon if you're in America. I mean, it's pretty easy to get Crown
United
Royal,
States,
though.
specifically.
Yeah,
Because
United States.
Look, Canada's in America.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair point.
So yeah, I put Jim Beam in it, but
Yep.
it usually has Crown Royal. It's got some sour apple liqueur or sour apple schnapps, if
Nice.
you will.
Mhm.
And then it has some cranberry juice. And they're all even pours. So 1 ounce, I did 1 ounce of each.
I couldn't pick out the cranberry juice, to be honest.
Me neither.
It made
More
it just,
apple.
it just made it become the sour
So
apple.
cranberry juice has a aftertaste to it, like a tartness on your tongue. And that I can taste. It kind of
Yeah.
dries your tongue a little bit. I don't know really what that is, but
Like
I can
an
taste
an
it.
astringent.
Yeah, I can taste the effects of the cranberry juice, but the sour apple schnapps is like pretty potent.
So why don't they call it a Washington Crapple? Or Jim Crapple at this point. This is a Jim Crapple.
I don't think anyone would drink that.
Would they?
A cranple, maybe?
With the names that some drinks are, I'm sure the
A Jim Crapple
A
would
Jim
sell
Crapple would be okay.
So we are drinking a Jim Crapple.
A Jim Crapple, please.
It's pretty good. It's supposed to be garnished with an apple, but I didn't put an apple.
Garnished with an apple? Really?
Like a little apple slice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you made a holiday version of this, throw a little cinnamon stick in there. Now you're making money.
So this
Right?
is
Not bad.
so
Yeah.
it's a take on the reason it's in a martini glass is because it's a modified appletini kind of.
Nice.
So you've kind of taken an appletini and adding a little
So we're
bit
just-
of.
You said
cranberry
Washington?
juice. That's what the drink is called, the cocktail. So if you went and ordered a Washington apple, this is what they would give you. Only it would probably be the Crown Royal version.
So we're just three dudes sipping on appletinis and with a crap ton of
Popcorn.
So speaking of a crap ton of
Standard
popcorn, we
version.
have a lot of popcorn. So we got some extra flavors here. So I picked up some white cheddar because I think that's like a classic.
Gross.
Brian apparently doesn't like white cheddar. So every time I get like the white cheddar Cheez-Its. Have you ever had white cheddar Cheez-Its, Andy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're
Yes.
pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Brian says they're gross.
I'm a smart food
Original.
guy.
I'm a purist when I guess when it comes to my popcorn and my Cheez-Its. It's just the original.
So you're not a fan.
For some reason, I can do white cheddar a little bit, but
So
it's
here's the
just the
question.
butter and salt.
Here's a question. What's the difference between white cheddar and cheddar? It's not just color.
It's color.
There's a totally different taste, though.
Nope. It's color.
That's it.
That's it. Justin's looking.
He doesn't
it up.
believe you.
No.
I remember a distinct point in time where my mom used to buy original Cheez-Its and switched to white cheddar Cheez-Its because I think my dad liked them.
You didn't come out of your room for a week.
No, you're right.
You're like,
And it's the same with popcorn.
you're like, slide the regular Cheez-Its into under the door.
Nothing else. I want to see the yellow, not the white.
It's awesome.
Doesn't seem like there's much of a difference.
So
why is there-
Andy is right.
But why is there cheddar Cheez-Its and white cheddar Cheez-Its and the white cheddar Cheez-Its taste completely different?
Because white cheddar is trash.
No, but there's got to be a flavor difference.
It's the man.
White is not a flavor.
It's the man. Yeah.
Let's taste.
Don't
and
Google
see.
the man. All right. Are you Googling the man?
No, I just... Why does white cheddar taste different than yellow cheddar?
Why? That's a
There's
preference.
no difference in taste when comparing white and yellow cheddar of the same age asterisk. The only difference is the annatto food coloring.
So to answer your question, there is no difference. Okay. I mean, the big difference between white cheddar Cheez-Its and quote unquote regular Cheez-Its is the dusting.
It's the way it's
the
prepared.
dust, right?
Yeah, because there's no dusted cheddar Cheez-Its.
Correct.
But the white cheddar is dusted. But they taste different. If you took both those Cheez-Its, I guess we got to do an episode on it. Yellow
White?
versus white?
We don't have to, but we may. We're not committing ourselves. But if it's a dry season, then we might do it.
Do we go back to that white yellow? No, we're not there yet.
We're not at rock bottom. Okay, so you guys want to hear about the history of popcorn?
Absolutely.
And so I'm kind of a little nervous that I'm
If you
educating you guys.
I was gonna say, if you see the name Whisman anywhere in there, don't be surprised.
I'll,
Or Alden.
So the quintessential pop, pop, pop heard throughout the kitchen at My Popcorn Kitchen. Okay, so this is from mypopcornkitchen.com.
Okay,
Do you guys own this?
maybe.
Okay.
Do you guys know?
I just had to ask. It's a perfect treat. Oh my gosh. This is like making a drink recipe.
Is there a Wikipedia?
Yeah, maybe I should just go to the Wikipedia.
While Andy's looking it up. So we got two different dusting flavors, right? Andy seasoned some of the popcorn that we've made. He bought, these are Colonel Seasons. And there's like a little smiley face on it with like a train conductor hat. And we got nacho cheddar. And what was that one?
Kettle
corn. I don't know
How
if
can
you
kettle corn
know.
be a flavor?
Look at it. And you know what? Not only is kettle corn a flavor, but it
Isn't
try
it the
on
way-
pancakes, toast, and yogurt too. That's
Isn't
what it
that
says
the
on
way
the top.
it's made?
They,
So-
they didn't say to try the cheddar
Well, kettle
one.
corn is very
pancake.
sweet.
It's more of a
Yeah.
sweeter corn.
So,
yeah.
Brian, I've never talked to you about this. Are you a fan of sweet popcorn?
Not at all.
So there's the
Well,
kettle
hold on.
corns and the caramel popcorn.
Yep.
I've never been a big fan of caramel popcorn.
There is caramel. I like caramel popcorn. I like the very, very like distinct sweet popcorn. Like, there's actually a place here in Syracuse that does a lot of different types or flavors called Ma and Pa's popcorn or something
That's
like
the place
that.
I was telling you about.
Yeah. But then Mom and Dad, where did they go? Way out west, it was called like Buddha's popcorn.
Popcorn Buddha or
Popcorn
something like that.
Buddha had like 100 and some odd flavors, and my mom would get dill all the time, which out of all the flavors. I don't know why she picked that one. But anyways, the very sweet popcorn. So there's like, caramel. There's this like, I think it's Target that makes it, this drizzle corn it's called. It's like this chocolate. Yeah. It's called like, has like chocolate and white chocolate and all this like stuff in it. And it's really, really good.
Drizzle corn sounds like a street name for a drug.
I mean, it's...
Y'all got
close.
that? Y'all got that drizzle corn?
You got that drizzle corn? So thinking of...
Dude, I do. I'm wholesome.
I'm going to look it up.
We were at the mall once, and what's the place in the mall called? The popcorn place? Where the guy jumped over the counter?
What?
Oh.
Where the guy jumped over the counter?
Like kettle corns or something like that.
Yeah.
Kettle corns is not the name of it. Let me talk about the history while you look
go
up
ahead.
the name of the place. Popcorn is a variety of corn kernel which expands and puffs up when heated. The same names are used to refer to the foodstuff produced by the expansion. So that was a very philosophical way to describe popcorn. But it should be between 14 to 20% moisture, which turns to steam as the kernel is heated. And some strains of corn are cultivated specifically as popping corns. The Zea maize, variety Everta, a special kind of flint corn, is the most common of these.
Of course.
So obviously corn was domesticated about 10,000 years ago in what is now Mexico. But through the 19th century, popping of the kernels was achieved by hand on stovetops. And kernels were sold on the east coast of the United States under the names such as pearls or nonpareil. The term popped corn first appeared in John Russell Bartlett's 1848 Dictionary of Americanisms. Popcorn is an ingredient in Cracker Jack, and in the early years of the product, it was popped by hand. Popcorn's accessibility increased rapidly in the 1890s with Charles Creeder's invention of the popcorn maker. Creeder's, a Chicago candy store owner, you said your family's from Iowa, not too far off, think about it, created a number of steam-powered machines for roasting nuts and applied the technology to the corn kernels.
So should we try some of this popcorn?
But during the Great Depression,
I
yes, you can pop.
I'm
Or
done.
you can eat it. During the Great Depression, popcorn was fairly inexpensive at 5 to 10 cents a bag and became popular. Thus, while other businesses failed, the popcorn business popped. No, it says thrived, but I just said popped instead. It became a source of income for many struggling farmers. Sugar rations diminished during World War II, and candy production diminished, and Americans compensated by eating 3 times as much popcorn as they had before, a.k.a. the Whisman era. The snack was popular at the theaters, much to the initial displeasure of many of the theater owners who thought it distracted from the films.
So Andy didn't want me to put any butter on this. He wanted me to just put the powder on and then shake it up. I think the powder just kind of dropped to the bottom.
No, there's some kernels. I can see. You gotta.
Well, I just repowdered.
It's definitely not as good.
I just repowdered.
No, I'm not a fan of powdered.
You got the
I don't
kettle
think I
corn,
could put
right?
that on pancakes and be like, oh, wow, kettle corn. I think they're just trying to, like, diversify. Like, they're like, it's sweet, and you can put it on some things. It just kind of tastes like general sweetness with, like, maybe, like, a little bit of vanilla to it. Maybe a little bit of caramel flavor.
I wonder if these are, like, healthier options. Because it's just, like, a hint of cheese and a hint of sweetness. It's not like,
Dude,
super
you trying to say
salty.
that cheese is unhealthy?
No, I'm just saying it's not like a super cheesy piece of popcorn or a super sweet. It's like a very subtle hint.
These are not good.
You know? All right. Open that bag. The white cheddar. What is that? What's the brand? Farmer
John's, white cheddar, 3rd generation popcorn farmer, OG trans fat. I'm kidding. 0 grams of trans fat.
OG.
It's got that OG trans fat, which I love.
Preservative
Whole
free.
grain, preservative free, net weight 10 ounces, but this is a big bag.
Now,
Don't
is
be-
that bag not even sealed? Is it just twist tied?
I don't know. You tell me you bought it, right?
Right?
Did you not inspect this bag before? And that was kind of a that tie
was
was
very
kind
That
of
was
on
a
a short
loose.
leash.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I bought this from Wegmans, and that was a loose tie.
We'll have Andy try it first. Make sure it's
Is there a razor blade in there? That's weird. It's good. Honestly, it is good.
That was good.
gross.
That's the only one I
Save
found.
some for the rest of us, just.
I love white cheddar.
It's good. It's good. It's good, Brian. You're conflicted because
I am conflicted. This is actually pretty good white cheddar popcorn.
you're kind of self-hating
Yeah.
right now.
That's very good.
You're like, why haven't I given it a chance?
And
no,
it's coated,
I
but
just
it's
need to
not,
thank Farmer John.
Yeah.
it's not too powdery.
It says 28 servings per package, or it also says 4 Whismans,
Yep.
which is a standard quantity.
I think that
In
whole,
Serving
popcorn
size is
is-
1 cup.
I think
That's
that-
ridiculous. That's like a handful.
I think that large bag could fit in my one popcorn bowl.
I have no doubt that it could.
Which means I'm regularly eating 28 servings of popcorn.
Yeah, but yours is probably a little more healthy.
That's very unhealthy.
I will tell you that is not a standard white cheddar popcorn.
No? You don't think so?
Uh-uh.
Because you like it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, can we talk really quick about nomenclature of the popped corn? There's mushrooms and there's butterflies, guys.
Wait, what?
Huh?
There's mushrooms. This is a mushroom.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those.
Right? This is a mushroom. It's kind of more like the spherical.
It kind of looks... So I think
popcorn.
those look like brains.
They look kind of like brains, yep.
Yeah.
And then something that's more just kind of generally flared out, kind of this one.
So for the
sure.
listener, Andy's talking about the way the kernels pop.
Yes.
So there's either like ones that look like open hands, or there's like brains.
Mm-hmm.
There's only two kinds?
That's what they're saying, right?
So it's kind of like chicken wings. You got the flats, or what's the other one, wings?
So they do.
Wings and
butterfly or
drumsticks.
snowflake,
Drumsticks, yeah.
right? So a snowflake or butterfly, and flakes are irregular in shape and have a number of protruding wings. Mushroom flakes are largely ball-shaped with few wings.
Not to get off topic too much, but the chicken wings, you can order all flats.
So when I went to the Hop
It's
Spot.
more expensive?
I went to the Hop Spot downtown,
It is.
and I got some duck wings.
What?
Those were delicious. Now the duck wings only came in drumsticks, and they're also larger.
Well, that's a benefit.
It's a darker meat. Would you consider it to be a dark-winged duck?
So we got this last flavor.
Come back, guys.
So
How are you guys walking away from me, but we're still doing the podcast?
I got.
Smart food.
So I like
that is
this.
smart food.
I like
It's
this popcorn. It's smart food popcorn, flaming hot, and I think this popcorn's really good. It's super addictive. It's hot though. I don't know if you both don't really like hot, but apparently
Here
this
we
is
go.
also
We're gonna
white
do it to the
cheddar. Which when I picked it up, I'm like, oh, it's a white cheddar too. It's just a hot white cheddar. So I was
Hot
reading
white
the
cheddar.
ingredients now to see what makes it hot.
Yeah.
There's no pepper in it. There's nothing that I can see in the ingredients that makes it hot. I was expecting like a cayenne or jalapeno or
Does it say natural flavors?
Yeah, that covers a lot of...
That's the
Yep.
ghost pepper.
yep, there it is.
That's ghost pepper right there.
So try some.
Do we need to
Okay.
have another drink? Because I'm out.
This is very red. Yes.
We need
do
another
to have
Titos
drink.
and cran.
So
Holy shit, that's hot right from the get-go.
Should I not eat a handful? Should I do the...
No.
The one-
You do what you've been doing for your
I don't
entire
know,
life.
Andy.
Go
I feel like
nuts.
you're setting me up here.
man, I eat so much of this stuff.
Right? That's pretty hot.
I taste like vomit. Oh, that's so gross.
It is very acidic.
It's so good.
It is good.
I brought this to a party and everyone was like, "Brian's drinking my drink."
Ugh. That's disgusting.
I couldn't tell you what was
That's
in
not
it.
smart food at all.
So this is flaming hot white cheddar is here. Other snacks can now go.
You want to take like a little pop
After
break
that.
and
So
Vomit corn.
yeah, we'll take a break. I was trying to look up the origins of the Washington apple.
uh-huh.
And it says, the first apple tree in Washington was planted in 1826 in Vancouver. That's not what I was
Where do
looking
apples
at.
come from originally?
Washington in 1826 from Vancouver.
No, they don't.
Andy, Brian said it was vomit. Did you like the flaming hot white cheddar?
Can't taste the cheddar at all.
No, that's why I didn't know it was white cheddar until I bought it today, and I was specifically looking at the bag because we're doing the podcast. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was white cheddar.
You know why this is white cheddar and then flaming hot? It's because they already had a ton of white cheddar in their factory, and
Yeah.
then they just added hot.
They just poured
hot to it.
Frank's red hot sauce in the
Yeah.
bag. And...
Or they're like trying
Not
to,
even.
They're
Like,
trying to draw
this isn't
you
even
in.
like a quality hot sauce.
Well, white cheddar is such like a like. There's a lot of people that just like white cheddar things.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, so if it's like white
Gross.
cheddar, it's like ooh yum.
And we're back to the cheeses discussion.
So it's like if they slap white cheddar on there, you know, if it's just hot, say they made like jalapeno popcorn or cayenne popcorn, it's not going to sell as good. But if they make white cheddar, which everyone likes, well, most people like,
Nope.
and then they make that a little hotter, I think it's a better selling point.
So, Smart Food Flaming Hot, not good. Farmer John's white cheddar, good.
Very good.
So we should get something else to drink because my lips are kind of like on fire.
Bernie,
right now.
you want just cranberry juice?
How about a cranberry juice
Titos.
with just a tiny bit of splash of
Tito's?
Tito's.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll get a little bit more Tito's and cran, and then
the
we'll
refreshing
close this
drink.
thing out. All right, we'll be right back. Bye.
And we're back.
This hot popcorn is great.
No, it's
Hot
not.
popcorn
It's not.
is gross.
So good.
You're like, I call it hot corn.
Hot corn. That's a good name for it.
Got
Sounds
my
like a
hot corn
disease.
today. Where it's like
So we got a little more changes
sexy
in crayon.
corn.
I'm still working on like 2-hour-old Fosters.
That's disgusting.
Andy and I
So
have our second.
there was a time I had like a
Titos
beer, right? And then I think I had drinking too much or something like that, and like I only had drinking half of it, and I went to bed. And I was like the next afternoon.
You
and
didn't drink
I saw
enough.
that half glass of the beer from the
Gross.
previous day. I'm like,
When was this?
What beer
this
was
a couple
it?
years ago.
Oh, this wasn't like a post-podcast?
No, this
Okay.
wasn't like no.
Uh-huh.
This was a couple years ago. It was only marginally gross.
Did you put it in the fridge?
No, I just drank it lukewarm.
Okay, so you guys had a podcast, right?
We're gonna talk about this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can't just erase it from history. Did it hit?
It was never published. There's some hidden episode somewhere on
And there's
someone's
like
laptop.
2 or 3 unreleased episodes.
So what was it about?
The premise of it was Bryan, especially, but me also, will get into something for like 1 week or 2 weeks. You know, like, oh, I'm really into this game, or I'm really into like this new hobby. Oh, I'm collecting stamps this week, or I'm collecting quarters,
Please
or
tell me
you
guys
know, like
never
something like
collected
that.
stamps. Did you guys collect stamps?
I did a long time ago.
Did you? You
For
collected stamps?
Yeah.
I remember Bryan seeing him like with like a tub of water, like soaking the envelopes into the.
There's a whole process.
Huh?
Yeah, you like to get the
Are you for real?
the stamp off the envelope and preserve its like health.
Which is weird that Justin knows because he's never removed a single stamp in his life.
No,
but he knows the process.
Well, he watched your
can't-
labors.
Yeah, you can't like
Maybe he
tear
was a little jealous
You
about
can't
it.
tear a rare stamp off an envelope.
You can't?
No, it'll just rip, or it'll leave like paper residue.
So,
Anyways, so this podcast was supposed to be not like fads of pop culture, but fads in our life.
The current
Like what was going on from week to week in our lives as our interests gained and waned.
ebbed and flowed.
Yeah. We tried like different segments.
uh-huh.
I think one of the episodes we had was just random questions to ask people, like the would you rathers.
What are icebreakers? Icebreaker questions, I think.
What do you guys think icebreaker questions would be? It kind of depends on like what you're trying to, like who you're talking to, you know?
Close friends, strangers,
Work people.
picking up someone at the bar.
Yeah. And they're
All
like, why are
different.
you literally like physically lifting me at the bar? And you're like, well,
Wow.
you're like, hey,
What if
what's,
you're
you're
like-
like, hey, what's your favorite color?
Do you think someone would like find it humorous or think it's funny and it would break the ice if you walked up with a huge like clump of ice with a hammer and just started breaking it and just told them that you were breaking the ice? Would you think that would lead into like a funny conversation and like maybe a night on the town or a relationship, or
Maybe
would
a
it be like
restraining order.
yeah, or the opposite? Like, please get away from me with your ice cube.
I don't know.
Probably
We
the
should try
second
it.
one.
Let's go live.
But I think the pond is big enough in Syracuse to pull some shit like that, you know?
Absolutely.
Just have like I had to drive around in like an ice cream truck though, because to keep the cubes of ice, the test cubes.
Are you talking
Cold.
about a
I'm talking like a
legitimate
block.
glass
No,
cube?
something that I could like chisel.
Oh, it's like a
Yeah, ice cream truck might not be necessary. Let's just go with a cooler. I think maybe a cooler would suffice, right?
That's a good idea, right?
Just rhythmically chipping away. Not breaking eye contact. That'd be the only thing that you're not breaking.
Yeah. All right.
Don't do that.
So let's recap before we close out. Mm-hmm. Andy, this is the first time you ever had Whisman popcorn. Did you approve of the homemade
It was
popcorn?
fine.
Fine?
fine.
Oh. Your butter and salt ratio to popcorn was good. Perfect? Nay. But
It was tough because I was making a half batch, so it's a little out of my element. I wasn't making a full bowl.
I really think the expertise comes after 50 years of being in the Whisman family.
really? Wow.
Yeah, we're not true experts yet either.
No.
Still working.
But if
at
you're
the
making a
craft.
full bowl, I usually use about half a stick of butter.
Would you say you're a popcorneering journeyman?
I'm a journeyman,
Yeah.
but I'm reaching expertise.
You've like taken boards.
You saw
your
me
license.
curling the popcorn in the bowl.
I did.
But we can all agree, I think, that the powders were right out.
The what?
The powders
Uh-huh.
that we put on there. I think definitely you need to oil or butter so that the powder sticks, because it kind of just floated to the bottom. But even the ones that have powder on it that I'm eating right now, they taste very fake.
They taste fake and cheap.
Yeah.
We also can agree
Big
that
pet-
white cheddar and regular cheddar taste the same.
I still don't think white cheddar and yellow cheddar taste the same.
That's the next episode.
Oh my god. Blindfolded Justin, just cheddar all across the table. And you're going to guess which is white and colorful cheddar. I'm going to make red cheddar for that occasion.
That'll throw me way off.
No, it won't.
This is red cheddar.
That's
That's
spicy.
disgusting cheddar.
Yeah.
So then we moved on to white cheddar and hot white cheddar. Farmer John's was great. That's really, really good white cheddar popcorn. I really like this hot white cheddar, but from Smart Foods, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the spice is because it doesn't say.
I think the spice is red 40.
Coloring.
Artificial flavor number 12.
That's it. Like, that's the only thing that's
Can
on
I
there.
ask how you picked Farmer John's? Was it the risk that it was loosely wrapped or loosely sealed, and you're like, I'm going to take a gamble on that bag?
It was very
Or-
loosely sealed. If you like living on the edge, get some Farmer John's because it was not sealed at all. It was loosely zipped.
Twist tie.
From the
Twist
tie
tie.
to the top of the package was literally a half an inch.
Yep.
Yeah. Easily accessible by bugs or
Anything.
Terrace.
fingers.
Toddlers. Like, nice. What was your favorite popcorn overall?
Butter and salt.
Yeah,
That's all
butter
it
and
takes.
salt, homemade. You can't top it. It doesn't get old. You know. Did you guys like the Washinton apple?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
very
nice.
good.
Yeah,
It was a good drink.
I liked it.
And the sour apple schnapps is pretty cheap. And the cranberry.
How much do you
juice.
think it would go for at a bar?
I would say it's like a $7 cocktail.
Yeah.
Not too much.
I was going to say $9.
Really? Depending on
I
if
guess-
it's Jim Beam or if
Yeah,
it's...
the Crown Royal.
Yeah.
The weird
I'm
Crown
sorry
Royale.
I killed it. I'm sorry I killed it. Have you always said Crown
$9.
Royale?
Crown Royal.
$9 if it's Crown Royale. Yeah. Only $7 if it's Crown Royal.
$2 for the E.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's all been good. Andy now knows that popcorn runs in my blood.
I didn't know that before this episode, really.
I know when I opened up the cupboard with like the popcorn maker, Andy was like, "You have that and not a toaster?"
It's a staple of every household.
That's not true. We don't have one in our house.
You don't...
Anyone out there that is like heading to a wedding and they don't know what to buy, popcorn maker's a good one.
Let me just...
And the
let me-
popcorn maker has to come with a large bowl because there's a like wide spread of where the popcorn's going to go when it comes out of the popper. So you need like a big enough basin for even like the stray shoots to still make it into the bowl.
I will agree. Popcorn maker over ice cream maker. 100%.
True.
Homemade ice cream I hear is really, really good though.
I know we're going to get some dairy, you know?
It's true. Maybe we should do a homemade ice cream episode.
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm gonna get
Maybe-
some use out of that.
Yeah. and
Homemade
then
ice cream and a blind cheddar test.
Oh my gosh.
There's a difference between white and yellow ice cream.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have today.
Thanks for listening today. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find this episode and others like it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of other places. And you go to our website at www.snackdownpod.com, and you can call us and leave us a message at 315-313-5456.
315-313-5456.
Thanks, and thanks for the support and for listening to us. And go eat some popcorn.
Yeah. And while you're at it, just kind of pop in on one of our social media accounts.
Yeah.
Am I right, guys? Pop,
Give us a little shout out.
pop.
Sip up on a Washinton apple or a Titos and crayon, and
Take care of yourselves and each other.
you and that.
The Jerry Springer close out.
I've cut that out of like 3 of them.
Snack you later.
All right, guys. Goodbye.
Ta-da! Here we are. We're popping popcorn. Like, no way. No way.